Hey there, folks. Chris Waters here with the Ubi blog, and I am talking to Dale Scullion, lead gameplay designer on Grow Up. Dale, it's an adventurous time for our friend Bud here.
Sure is. Yeah, it's his new adventure, in fact. Grow Up, sequel to Grow Home.
Grow Home started off as this fascinating little project in procedural animation and grew into this critically beloved phenomenon. And now that's the catapult to bring us into Grow Up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, his charm is definitely what comes from the way he reacts to stuff. His procedural animation kind of gives him a totally unique look. But basically, it's all about throwing this little robot about, right? That is it. That's where you get the fun from.
And especially in Grow Up, there's so many ways for Bud to be flung about.
Exactly.
Most notably, he's sprouting wings.
Yes, he's sprouting wings. He's learned a lot from that leaf in Grow Home. That's an influence. Well, but these are all tools which kind of, as you progress, you learn these and you learn to combine them. And it's all about this kind of acrobatic sort of gameplay, which really transforms how you play it. So if Grow Home was all about the climbing and kind of this little story where you learn to jetpack, this takes it to the next level. Yeah, this really kind of transforms how you experience this new planet.
Let's talk about that new planet. What is this sort of setting that at the beginning of Grow Up, people find themselves in?
It's the end of Grow Home. It's a star planet, a mission complete, and Bud and Mom are traveling in their spaceship back to their home planet. And they crash land into this moon, which sends the ship into pieces on this brand new alien planet.
What are the main features of this alien planet that that Bud's gonna have to contend with that are new from Grow Home?
So it's split into 4 different biomes. So you've got like this grassy area, you've got a desert, and each one's got these plants, which Bud has actually a new ability which allows him to scan any plant that you find in here and use it for himself.
Okay.
So he can find a mushroom, he can plant that, he can use that to bounce and fling himself around this new planet. With the exploration of these different areas, you can start to build up this little toolbox. Add to that his glider, his jetpack, and all of a sudden you've got these abilities which really transform how you play this.
What are some of the other ways that Bud gets around?
Okay, so what I haven't mentioned is Bud's ability, which is really cool, to transform into a ball. Okay, basically when you do this, first off you can kind of have a safe landing, right? Because Bud he falls a lot. Transforming a ball, you drop and you can ping pong yourself off the ground. Add to that the ability to charge and kind of horizontally fling yourself sideways. You can then combine that with the glider and really start to change the way you kind of move around. So Bud basically goes from this stumbling robot to this little character who can kind of really bounce and fly around this planet.
You look at Bud and you look at the sort of semi-polygonal sort of art in Grow Up, and you don't necessarily think something that is very beautiful or that captures your imagination, but looking at that planet from the wide view and then seeing the little spaces that Bud gets into, it's dazzling. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's it. One of the things we wanted to try to make sure we did was, because we're on this planet, we've got a day-night cycle which you can't escape. You can't escape it. So the nighttime, we need to make sure it looked as good as it could. So we basically did this by making everything glow and cranking up
stuff looks really
the blues. Cool. So it does look great, I think. Oh, and adding a second sun really helps.
Oh, really? Hey, just spice up the sky a little bit, right? Well, Grow Up is out. Let's just see it. Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Right, what are you really excited for folks who are picking this game up to get in an experience?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what people do with these tools, right? I mean, what we've given people is a playground to create their own little adventures, yeah? You can go through, you can save Mom, you can find the ship parts, but when you start playing around with the plants and Bud's abilities, I think we're going to get some crazy videos.
I'm looking forward to them.
Me too.
All right, Dale. Congratulations.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Grow Up. And folks, check out Grow Up right now. Dale, give them the platforms.
Platform is Steam, it's Xbox Live, and it's PSN, and it is out now.
Fantastic. Right. Grow Up.